Chapter 9, The Fusion of the Warrior. Finale of the first season. The fusion of the armor and the Scarlet Sword had been an amazing and mysterious process. After the ritual at the shrine, Ilian found himself enveloped in a power beyond his understanding. The scarlet gem shone with unearthly intensity, and the armor, now fully integrated with the sword, emitted a magical glow that surrounded Ilian. The armor not only provided physical protection, but also amplified Ilian's magical abilities. He had become a true magical warrior, able to cast spells and incantations with astonishing ease. The sword and armor responded to his desires and thoughts, creating a perfect bond between the warrior and his weapons. Ilian could feel the essence of the armor fused with his own soul. She became an extension of himself, a manifestation of his will and decision. This deep connection allowed him to anticipate his opponent's movements and react, with superhuman speed and precision. The first time he tested his new abilities was in a confrontation with a group of bandits who were threatening a nearby village. Ilian and his magical companion advanced toward the next destination indicated by the sword, entering a narrow, winding path through a deep, rocky canyon. The majesty of nature loomed over them, but they also felt a growing sense of danger in the air, as if the shadows of the canyon held dark secrets. The sounds of horse hooves echoed in the distance, and before they could react, a group of bandits emerged from the shadows. The bandits dressed in rags and carried sharp, twisted weapons. Mounted on skeletal steeds, they charged towards Ilian and his companion with ferocity. The bandits unleashed a hail of arrows and projectiles, creating a deadly deluge that threatened to engulf the travelers. Ilian, with his new magical armor, moved with astonishing agility, dodging the arrows that whizzed around him. The Scarlet Sword shone with intense light, and with a swift movement, it deflected the incoming projectiles, creating a protective barrier around it. The clash between the two forces was imminent. The bandits were cunning and well-coordinated, making them a formidable enemy. They rushed towards Ilian, their swords and spears flashing in the setting sun. The attacks were quick and coordinated, and Ilian had to rely on his instincts and his new connection to the sword to anticipate the attacks and defend himself. The battle unfolded with ferocity and cunning. Ilian was not invulnerable, and the enemy swords left scratches and cuts on his armor. Every swing of his sword required tremendous effort, and he could feel the weight of the battle in every swing and parry. The sound of steel clashing against steel filled the canyon, and the bandit's screams mingled with those of his magical companion as she cast spells and guarded his flanks. Despite his numerous challenges and injuries, Ilian demonstrated his bravery and skill in combat. His movements were calculated and precise, and the Scarlet Sword seemed to anticipate the bandits' attacks. With superhuman effort and the power of his armor, Ilian unleashed a storm of fire and lightning from the sword, laying waste to the bandits with devastating force. The armor protected him from enemy attacks, and his enhanced agility allowed him to dodge with ease. The survivors fled, leaving behind a trail of chaos and defeat. The battle had been hard and bloody, and Ilian and his companion were exhausted but victorious. As he looked around, the bodies of the bandits were lying on the ground, and the canyon had fallen silent once again. However, the victory was overshadowed by a sinister presence that materialized in the middle of the canyon. A strange being, with eyes as bright as ruby and a terrifying countenance, emerged from the shadows. His presence was so intense that it seemed to absorb the light around him. The bandits, as if under his spell, vanished into nothingness, leaving behind an echo of his evil presence. The being, who introduced himself as Diorc, stared at Ilian with eyes full of challenge. "You are a wielder of the Scarlet Sword, right?" he said with a voice that resonated like the echo of darkness. "But you are not worthy of such power. That sword should belong to me." Ilian, although exhausted by the battle just fought, put himself on guard. The Scarlet Sword vibrated with an intensity that seemed to challenge Diorc himself. "I have no intention of handing over the sword to you," Ilian replied decisively. The battle between Ilian and Diorc was as fine and chilling as the breeze blowing through the canyon. Diorc unleashed dark and twisted attacks, while Ilian responded with sword-enhanced magic and dexterity. Each blow resounded like thunder, and the air vibrated with the magical tension that was unleashed. Ilian nimbly dodged Diorc's attacks, feeling the icy breeze of his attacks close to his skin. The Scarlet Sword cut through the air with a vibrant hum, challenging the darkness emanating from Diorc. The battle became a frantic dance, with Ilian and Diorc moving with supernatural speed and precision. Diorc's spells were like dancing shadows, but Ilian's newfound magic created explosions of light and energy that illuminated the canyon. The connection between Ilian and the Scarlet Sword seemed to reach new heights, each movement a natural extension of the other. However, the battle came at a cost. Both were injured, marked by the other's attacks. Diorc, with a guttural laugh, disappeared into the shadows, harnessing some unknown magical power to escape. Ilian, panting and with the Scarlet Sword still in his hand, looked towards the horizon where Diorc vanished. The victory, although achieved, left Ilian with an unsettling feeling. The Scarlet Sword had unlocked new powers, but it had also attracted the attention of dark forces that wished to take the newfound power from him. The echo of the bandits' screams faded into the night breeze, marking the end of the battle. The village was finally safe, although a disturbing shadow lingered in the air, especially after Diorc's mysterious intervention in the outcome of the battle. As the village fell into a restorative calm, Ilian's fame as a legendary warrior spread quickly throughout the region, and many sought his help in times of need. But the purpose of the sword and armor went beyond facing common bandits and villains. Soon, Ilian realized that his destiny was intertwined with the ancient magic and secrets of the world. One night, while contemplating the Scarlet Gem, Ilian heard the voice in his mind that had been his companion throughout his journey. The voice whispered words of ancient wisdom and revealed his true mission, to unravel the secrets of the sword and armor to prevent a catastrophe, which threatened to plunge the world into terror. Determined to fulfill his destiny, Ilian embarked on a new quest. Following the mysterious clues that the Scarlet Sword provided him, he traveled to forgotten and ancient places. He faced powerful dragons, mythological creatures, and malevolent sorcerers, all in his quest to understand the ancient magic that flowed through his sword and armor. As he progressed in his search for it, Ilian unlocked new powers and magical abilities. He could conjure lightning, create illusions, and heal wounds with a simple touch of his hand. Ancient magic flowed through him, and he became a defender of light in a world threatened by terror. Along the way, Ilian also forged alliances with other warriors and magical beings who shared his cause. Together, they fought against dark forces that sought to harness the power of sword and armor for nefarious purposes. The final battle loomed, and the fate of the world rested on the shoulders of Ilian and his magical companion. Ancient magic, fused armor, and the Scarlet Sword were his tools, but it was his bravery and determination that made them a legendary warrior. Ilian was willing to face any challenge, unravel any mystery, and fight any adversary to protect the world and ensure that ancient magic did not fall into the wrong hands. His journey was not over yet, and what awaited him would be his greatest challenge yet. End of Chapter 9, The Warrior's Fusion. Finale of the first season.